So we're on the march now. What are your impressions?
I'm really enjoying the spirit because I'm from Birmingham and it's like I lived in Deptford for 4 years and I didn't know much about it.
Yeah.
So it's good to actually be part of it and be around.
So when did you hear about it?
Maybe like a year ago.
Okay.
Like
So
were
you here last year then, or?
No.
Or you heard about that
a friend of
afterwards?
mine went to. I think they had like a memorial service at the Albany. Was it last year?
That's right. That was 2 years ago.
Two
Yes,
years ago, and my friend told me about it. So I was like, oh, okay, when was that? And then they kind of told me.
Did you know about the new Cross
No, I didn't.
fire?
No, I didn't.
Not
Not up until then. And then I did my own research to read up on it.
Okay.
And then I watched the film Blood Ever Run.
Yes,
I watched that film.
Yeah, Menelik Shabazz.
Yeah, I watched that, and then I got more
featured in that
informed.
commemoration, didn't it?
Yeah. And then that got me more interested. So this is my first march.
Excellent. So, what are your expectations for the National African People's Parliament?
Well, I don't know much about it. This is my first march, so I don't know any. But I just like the fact that it's unity and people have come out in order to show their passion and interest in us building a nation as a people as we united. I think that's
my impressions of the day so far is that we are building energy, we are building power, we are raising memories, we are raising spirits, and we are role modeling as we walk along the road. We are building momentum, so things are going well. And by the time we reach to the convention, our numbers would have swelled because people would understand and recognize the importance of today. We've come from Bristol. Today other people from other parts of the country because we need to show solidarity at this time, not just for the new Crossfire victims, but for all the African people in the UK that have suffered injustice over the last 400 years. And it's about time, and the time is now, for us to build a National African People's Parliament to be our official legitimate voice to challenge those degenerative forces that seek to oppress us even now in the UK. So it's time to wake up, organise or perish.
No peace. Give thanks. And no peace. Give us a sneak preview, if you would, in terms of the manifesto that we're going to be putting out later.
Okay, we have a draft manifesto ready to be consulted on with the general African public, and there'll be a 3-month consultation period ending in the end of May, and it's going to be a document that speaks to the various issues that impact on us in our communities wherever we are in the UK. So we will deal with some usual suspects like housing and education and law and justice. But within our manifesto, we seek to build an African centre and an African perspective to our lens and how we look at life in the UK. So we'll be looking at things like reparations as well. We'll be looking at global white supremacy, and all those are policy areas within the manifesto, and in total there are 22 policy areas. So as well as reparations and global white supremacy, we will address neo-colonialism, we'll look at spirituality, as well as all the other issues like education and science and technology and land and housing, the things that impact on us. So we will be giving an update on that, and people will have it to take away, and also it will be available on the INAP website, inapp.org.uk, for the consultation period.
Give thanks. Our Vice Chair here, Sister Jendai. Keep marching, sis. Keep marching. What do you think of the march?
And I think that it's white people not to kill black people
and not be racist. So what do you think when you grow up now? When you grow up, would you be keeping this going? Would you be involved still? So do you think it's important that we remember our history? Yes? So you're supporting the National Black People's Day of Action, yeah? And will you, when you go to school or with your friends, will you tell people at school about it with your friends? You told them already? You told them that you were coming to this march? And what did they say?
They said, oh, I was in
Slowly but surely becoming privatized.
But they didn't?
I didn't have the thing to give it to them.
Oh, you didn't have the flyer to give to them, but they wanted to come. That's really good, isn't it? So maybe next time you can bring your friends. And you got any brothers and sisters? Yeah? Okay. So it's really good to see you here. What's your name? I didn't ask you. Damika. It's wonderful to see you here, Damika. And I hope, like you said, when you get older, that you'll keep up and remember this. Yeah? What are your impressions of the day so far?
I think it's been a good turnout. There's nice vibes. Beautiful Nanda is here.
Oh yes, I can see you now.
Yeah, we're just heading up to
come and got
Lewisham
you.
Police Station.
Yes.
We've had the 2 historical sites in the breakdown at each one. First at the Moon Centre, in terms of where our people initially congregated.
Moonshot, yeah.
Moonshot. Shame. Moonshot. And then we went down to the actual building where our beloved young people passed. So yeah, it's been good.
So in terms of this is the co-chair for the youth pool. So in terms of young people, we keep talking about, you know, it's for the youth and young people and so on. What do you think, in terms of your impressions, young people outside of, you know, the kind of usual suspects, if you like, outside of that, the general community, views are in terms of getting involved with this and, you know, actually actively coming on the march? Because I have to say, there are young people, but in terms of the numbers that we would like to see, or you know, we would like to encourage.
To be honest, we've got a massive challenge. I mean, myself and Tafazel were here on Monday outside Lewisham College. We leafleted. Tafazel went up to Birmingham to the African Caribbean Society. Myself, Anika, went up to Birmingham. Excuse me. The Creative Arts Organisation up in Kent.
Okay.
And we linked up with Sister Ibby.
Yes.
So it's not that we haven't been spreading the word, it's not that we haven't been contacting youth centres up in London, but I think there's a lot of apathy amongst us as young people.
It's a challenge, yeah.
So more than them saying, what can I bring to the table, is what can you offer us?
Okay.
So we've got that struggle, but at the end of the day, we're still here.
Yeah.
And we're still going to continue, but it's not for want of efforts why young people are not here today.
And you think, like, seeing this and it being reported and put out there, that it would be more of an encouragement for for young people, for all people, but for young people especially, to actually come and see, well, what's going on there? How can I get involved? Or do you think that it would have that effect? Or
I don't think marching for young people is a particular pull.
Yeah.
Obviously, we understand why we're doing it. More than that, I think it's about having a space where young people feel that they can feel empowered to do things rather than marching per se.
So you're saying young people want stuff to actually do, actively do. So abandon me.
I know it.
Thanks.
No problem.
Justice to come.
Good morning to you, my dearie. I'll hug you in a minute.
Justice to come. Sister Jackie.
Yes.
Justice to come. Justice to come.
P.S.
Justice to come.
Yes.
Justice to come. We read the statement just now.
Yes.
Outside of 439.
Yes.
So, how are you feeling? How did you feel about how that was received and so on? An impression of the march so far?
Impression of the march so far is that I would have wanted more people here, but as Sister Kai said outside Moonshot, it is not just the numbers, it is the spirit in which we approach our work. It is the spirit in which we commemorate what others want us to forget, and we cannot forget. And it is in that spirit that I commemorated and honoured those young ancestors who sacrificed on our behalf. Yes.
So in terms of then expectation, the next part of, we're coming up to the station, the police station.
Yes.
And as you us actually march, because a few people have said, well, for instance, young people, let's not approve for them marching. So, you know, what are your views on that, given, you know, what we've done so far?
My views are that we have grown so used to putting ourselves under negative scrutiny, because that is our experience, that what we do is perpetrate that same negative scrutiny amongst ourselves. And sometimes there is an embarrassment in us standing up in places where others expect us either to sit down or not to be present at all. So this march is a vocal representation of our ability to remember that this injustice that was perpetrated against our children in that massacre at New Cross continues today in different guises. So this march has many prongs to it. It's not just about commemorating those young people, but how many other young people have we lost to violence in the African community since that march? Yes? So we need to begin to politicize our young people, to understand the importance of standing up, the importance of prioritizing ourselves, and understanding that the scrutiny of others cannot stop us from doing what we need to do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And so we march.
So we march.
So we march.